How's it going? Wicked psyched today. Making spaghetti meatballs. Gonna make a pot of balls. One of my favorite things to do. My father used to make the spaghetti meatballs in my household, and I've always loved to do it. So here we go. All right, so I've unpacked everything. Was able to go to the grocery store down the street. Pretty much had a couple things already, but I've got 4 pounds of beef. I went with ground chuck versus maybe a better cut of beef. At this, you want to have some fat in it, and once you grind it and you flavor it, and we're cooking it off for what, I don't know, 4 hours or so. It's not a problem. So I got 4 pounds of beef. I've got 1 pound of freshly ground pork. Some people put veal in it. That's fine. Didn't feel like doing that today. Got some Hunt's tomato sauce. They've got all kinds of sauce from different brands. Most of them are pretty good. I've always been, pretty partial to Hunt's sauce. Let's try that again. Got my tomato sauce. I've got 3 cans. They are the, 1 pound, 13 ounce cans. Okay, it's some bigger cans. I've got 3 of these. I actually have a little bit of tomato paste. That's going to thicken it up and give it a nice rich texture and flavor. And I also have, maybe a quarter of a can left of the crushed tomatoes from the other night. So I'm going to throw that in too. Why not? Already had the garlic. Probably should have picked up some more, just like an onion. It's always good to have more. Let's see, so I've got my garlic. We've got some eggs. Okay, it's pretty similar to making a meatloaf. If you've ever done that, it's just cooking it differently. Okay, Parmesan cheese. Of course, we put the Parmesan on the top once it's finished. Tastes delicious, but I also like to put this in the meatballs. Why not, right? Had a half an onion, but got another onion. Bought some elbow macaroni. This usually goes a long ways. Of course, I picked up Reynolds wrap, right? Said Reynolds wrap in Ziploc to your best friend. Had to get some butter. Butter, they have salted or non-salted butter. Go with the non-salted. We're using spices to cook, and this way we can control how much salt we use. Okay, and let's see, what else? Breadcrumbs. Let's see here. Here you are. Breadcrumbs. They've got all kinds of different flavors of breadcrumbs. This one is Parmesan. They've got garlic. They've got Italian herb. Change it up. Mix them all together. Whatever you want. Okay? And of course, olive oil. Okay, hey, by the way, I was actually able to go back to my apartment, back in my hometown, grab some more supplies. So I scored a couple pots to do the meatballs, a couple of the utensils. Feel pretty bad, my girlfriend's going to be without some of these things, but hey, what are you going to do? So, alright, let's get started. What I'm going to do first is let's get the meatball mixture into a pot, okay? Whatever you got to use. I actually have this cooker here. Nice heavy-duty ceramic pot. Works well for braising, stews, you name it. Then I've got this. This is the big boy. I probably won't need all of this today, but I'm going to use it anyways because this is the original meatball pot. It's 40 years old. My parents bought it when I was born. So this is what I learned to make meatballs in growing up, and that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to use this for a container just to mix up my meats and my onions. I like to put some onion and garlic into the mixture as well. I don't have any other pots to do that in, so that's going to work just fine for now. Okay? Alright, so let's get the mixture in. Okay? Alright. Now, hamburger, like I said, there's all kinds of different, you know, grades of beef out there. You know, you'll see also percentage of fat versus actual meat. A lot of people now, they're, you know, worried about their diets, and, you know, they want to go with less fat. And that's fine, but, you know, it's just not going to taste as good. Maybe if you can control your eating habits and the way you cook, you can have a little bit more fat in your diet. So that's what I strive for. Alright, so we got the beef in there. Oh yeah, so basically what I was saying is, you know, they have like 95% beef, you know, 5% fat, or 80-15 or 80-20. I go with the 80-20. I want to have a little bit more fat. It's flavor. That's what you know, that's what you want, right? Alright, there's a ton of beef there. I'm going to make a shitload of balls. Okay, so I'm going to push that aside. Let's see. You know what? One little garbage can here. Great trick is, in your working area, grab yourself a little bowl, whatever you got. Grab one of your plastic bags, put it inside, fold it over. Got a little trash can right here for when you need it. Okay. Alright, so I'm actually going to put this aside for now. Okay, so I've got my my beef in there. Let's get some onion in there right now. We're putting onion and garlic. I guess some people put green pepper into their spaghetti sauce, but really never calls for it. Onion, garlic, oregano. I mean, if you've got fresh oregano, fresh basil, use it. Always use fresh stuff when you can, but when you're on a budget, you know, if you want to get, you can buy, you know, the perfect pinch. Italian seasoning. It's got everything you want in there. So all you need is Italian seasoning, salt and pepper. It's going to taste delicious. Alright, so I'm going to cut up this onion here. I got a little bit left from the other night. Cut that up. And again, you can cut it at any thickness you want. When I'm doing tomato sauce, I like to cut it pretty thin. Kind of a dice. So when the spaghetti sauce is cooking down, all the onions and the garlic is going to cook right into the sauce. You'll taste it, but you won't see it. And then, you know, if you've got some friends that are, you know, a little fussy, they don't like onions or garlic, you could just tell them, well, there's no onions or garlic in there. A trick my father used to do is, I didn't like onions growing up. I was a pretty fussy kid, you know. But what he'd do is he'd float an onion. Just take the peeling off and put it in there. You know, and that was, I could tolerate that. I didn't know, maybe it was a texture thing back then, because, you know, I don't like mushrooms now either, and I think it's more of a texture thing than anything. But he used to float an onion, so I would think, hey, there's no onions in the sauce, I'm just getting the flavor. But I think he actually put some onions in there. So, I'm going to cut up my onions here, maybe like a 1/4 inch. Right? You know, what I didn't score was a better knife, so I'm still using the steak knife. You know, you can also get like one of those little choppers. Pampered Chef, I think, has them. Nice little chopper. You know, just because you're a cook and you're good with a knife doesn't mean you can't use, you know, one of those little choppers. Because I'll tell you, it saves some time and it works really well. Because I would generally like to cut these down a little bit more. But you know what? I say we do it. I'm gonna go get the hunting knife. Got it. All right. There we go. So I'm going to cut enough onion to put into my meatball mixture as well as into the sauce. So what I've got here for weight on the meats, I've got 3 pounds of beef and 1 pound of pork. So I should make quite a few meatballs because I've got some neighbors upstairs. I'm going to feed them tonight. And have some for lunch for the rest of the week. So I'm probably going to cut up I'm gonna cut up. Let's see, maybe half that onion. So a full onion. Let's just say a full onion. Nice big hearty onion. So cut enough in the mixture. It's actually a little warm in here today. Okay, there's that. Let's get this onion. Okay, this works great. Great! That's great! Oh, I'm crying already. One of the tricks I learned a long time ago, cook once showed me, leave a little running water going and cut your onion next to the sink. And to this day, I've been still doing that, and I try a little bit, but not as much. So I'm not sure if it works, but seems good. Good story. All right. Okay, so I'm cutting up some onion here. I'm gonna use a whole onion. Chop enough up for both the meat mixture and the sauce. So I've got one big onion here. So I'm gonna cut it up. I like to cut it a little thin. Mince it up. At least for the beef mixture. Because you're going to have garlic and onion in there. And for the sauce, you can have a little bit thicker chunks. Because, by the time we eat, it's going to be all cooked down beautifully.